Hey friends, this is T again with another reaction video. And today we're going to be doing a reaction on KRAVEN the Hunter pitch meeting, okay? Really love this guy, man. Really love this guy. I don't know nothing about him. I don't know if he was part of Hollywood at some point, but he's genius, pure genius coming up with this concept, man, because it's so funny. Now, did I see KRAVEN the Hunter? No, I did not. Okay, I wanted to see what other people might have to say about the movie, maybe do a preview or something. But all the people that have seen it, that I looked up on YouTube, did not like it. Matter of fact, they thought it was a joke. And I'm very disappointed because I was kind of wanting to see it. But I kind of knew it after the trailer. I wasn't going to go to the movie theater to see it. I figured I was going to see it on streaming services. But either case, man, I guess I'm not going to be really checking for it now. If I watch it, it's going to be just out of curiosity, and that's it. But, you know, I'm not going to go out of my way to go watch this movie now, even on streaming. But either case, I need a good laugh. I'm disappointed, but I do need a good laugh. And this guy definitely provides that, okay? And I just love the way he approach these movie reviews. You know, people just generally just talk about it. He basically let you know how crappy a movie is at the pitch meeting, man. It is so pure funny, man. I just love this stuff, so I'm really looking forward to it, okay? So let's go ahead and get started. But before we do, please like, subscribe, and share this video. And don't forget to hit that notification bell. That way you know whenever we come out with new videos, okay? All right, let's get with it.
So, you have a non-Spider-Man movie for me? Yes, sir, I do. I was thinking
That seemed to be the running thing with that, right? People saying non-Spider-Man because they trying to introduce all these characters that's not Spider-Man. Instead of just making a Spider-Man movie and introducing them that way, and then maybe do a movie about the character, if they realize he's good enough, then do that, right? But they're not doing it that way, right? They're just bringing in a bunch of characters most people probably don't know about, not unless you're a comic book fan, okay? But that seems to be the running theme these days, right? But you know, if they were able to do it well, it probably would have worked. But they're not. They need to just go ahead and start arranging these characters around Spider-Man. That'd be the best thing.
we make one about KRAVEN the Hunter. And what's the ever so slight Spider-Man connection in this one? He will see some spiders in a hallucination once. Nailed it. So we're gonna meet this guy, sir.
Oh no, man! I gotta hear that again, man. That's funny. I love the way he looked at the camera for that second, man. That was funny as hell. But yeah, man. Like I said, I haven't seen the movie, but I have seen the trailer. But look, this is spoilers, and normally when I want to see a movie, I kind of try to avoid spoiler reviews or whatever. But I don't care at this point. I really don't. So I just want to laugh. That's all I want.
Spiders in a hallucination once. Nailed it. So we're gonna meet this guy, Sergei Kravinoff, right? Right. And he's this badass vigilante killer guy who's known as KRAVEN the Hunter, but nobody can figure out who he is. Well, he just shortened his actual name. Nobody can figure out who this guy is. Anyway, we're gonna see him kill an arms dealer in a prison, escape from the prison, and get away on an airplane. Who's flying the plane? Hey, shut up. So then it's flashback time to when he was younger. Oh, I guess.
I'm assuming they didn't touch on whoever the guys flying the plane or whatever, right? I don't know, man. Just from that, man, I'm assuming that the storyline wasn't well thought out, which is very sad. And you think a big company like Sony are able, the kind of money they have, and I know they're going through a lot of hardships, just like Disney or whoever, right? But they still got a lot of crap money. You know what I'm saying? They can do a lot with the money they have, like hire really decent writers. Sometimes you be wondering if they just doing this mess on purpose or something, right? They just being cheap or just don't give a crap. And then they go out of their way to avoid hiring people that actually know the material, the source material. Okay? No. Let's not read the comic books. And let's not hire anybody that know what they're doing about these characters. Let's just hire the people we want to hire. But, you know, I'm starting to wonder if it's some kind of arrangement they have with a lot of these writing guilds or whatever, right? That they have to hire certain type of writers instead of actually going out there finding writers that actually know this stuff. Because that's what I'm starting to wonder now, okay? I mean, it just dawned on me for a second. Because I'm thinking, why wouldn't you just hire one of these comic book writers or somebody that really know the source material, right? But I'm wondering if, you know, because they got these groups these writer guilds or whatever you want to call it, that have conditions when they strike all the time. They make conditions. One of the conditions might be that you can't hire nobody outside the guild. That might be the reason. I mean, that might be part of the reason, right? Because it just don't make any sense how you have all this money and you keep having these people write crappy material. I just don't understand.
It'll be cool to see a glimpse of that. For 30 minutes of screen time. Oh my god. So he and his brother were raised by their criminal dad who takes them hunting, and Kraven gets freaking mauled fatally by a lion. Oh man, it's gonna be tough to survive a fatal lion attack. Actually, it's gonna be super easy. Barely an inconvenience. Oh really? Yeah, because...
You know, I'm starting to wonder if this is what it's really like when they put this together, because you think because this is probably why he came up with this idea, right? He probably was sitting in his living room or something thinking, while he was watching one of these crappy movies, thinking, what the freak were they thinking? And this probably gave him the idea to do this, right? Because it don't make no freaking sense, man. I mean, either case, either that or they thinking that the audience is stupid. And that's what I think Hollywood think of their audience most of the time, right? They just think they some intellectuals and they just superior because they went to Harvard and all these other places, right? And they just think you some middle class idiot that, you know, just want to see a movie. So we really don't really need to, you know, really go into it. It's a comic book movie. We don't really need to explain anything to these people because they'll just come and pay for it regardless, right? That's what I'm thinking. That's how they think about us, you know? And we're starting to show them that we need a little bit more than that in order for us to come see your movie. Or either that going to be trash. And now they put into a position now where they're going to have to listen to us now. Because they're losing so much money, man. Oh, just to mention, the Superman trailer, 250 million people watched it. That's probably the best DC and Warner Brothers ever did when it comes down to their trailers, the views. So that's positive. I think that's great. And I believe James Gunn takes his audience seriously. Hopefully he won't go woke and no crazy mess like that. But I believe he takes his audience seriously because he seemed like a regular guy. I might be wrong. He probably went to Harvard. Who knows, right? But he seemed like a regular guy. And I think regular people that love this kind of stuff would do a better job. But maybe Hollywood in a position where they can't just hire these people. Who knows?
See, before that happens, there's going to be a scene with this girl, Calypso, who's talking with her grandmother who can, like, see the future or whatever. Okay. And her grandmother is like, this tarot card of a lion means you're going to save someone from an accident with this potion I'm giving you now, and it's going to heal them in unexpected ways. That's going to happen soon. And so
that's so basic, man. That is so basic. I mean, it's almost like they didn't want to even bother with trying to make this thing make sense. It's like, you know, it seems like the more money they lose, the less trouble they go through. That's what the pressure I'm getting now. It's like, you know, we thought they were stupid now. Let's just go ahead and get lazy with it because, you know, most likely it's going to bomb anyway. And then when you think about it that way, why even make the movie? And that's the way I feel about Star Wars right now with Kathleen Kennedy. If you're going to keep putting out bombs, man, what's the point? Just leave it alone. I think even media is basically getting to the point where they're telling Kathleen Kennedy, stop making Star Wars. It's like are they wasting money? Like they got it like that. But it's not coming out of their pocket though. Okay? They rather just go ahead and let these companies spend all this money on them. And they might be even pressured to do it. And like they don't got no freaking choice. Like they like held hostage or something. Okay? So they keep pumping this mess out. But that's such a simple, boring idea. I can't believe they came up with it. No wonder he decided to do this pitch meeting thing, man. It's genius.
So is that exactly what then happens? And so that's exactly what then happens. Grandmas who nail it are tight. Okay, and so then Kraven is healed and he gets really cool powers. Oh, what are his powers? Well, he can be strong and he can jump and he can do, sometimes his eyes go yellow and he can zoom in on things with his eyes when he wants to, and he can do jumps, and his muscles are big, and he does tracking. Sick! Oh, cool, that's so many things. So he abandoned...
Oh no, man! It sound like a kid you talking to like in junior high or something. Describing the super. He's big and he's strong and he's this, that. I mean, he pretty much putting out there like this is the kind of people that's working on these movies. These are the kind of people Sony is hiring, Disney is hiring to work on their movies. These people with no talents. I was watching this thing about nepo babies, okay? You know, if you don't know what that is, I mean everybody know what that is, right? You know, rich kids getting a leg up from their rich parents so they can get certain type of jobs or go to a certain type of colleges or whatever. And most of them don't got no talents, none. But they still get these this advantage because their parents are rich and famous, because the parents had talent enough to get that money, but the kids don't. So you thinking that a lot of these kids are like directing and producing and writing for a lot of these movies, and that might be the situation now, because it's not like LeBron and his son. He's playing on the Lakers. It ain't like he earned that, man. He got it because of LeBron. It's obvious, okay? Well, at least that's my opinion, but I think that's what most people believe. Okay, so we getting all these entertainment situations where they're ran by nepo babies, basically, because they don't want to give it up. They want to give these talented kids an advantage, and that's what this crap sound like right now. Is these nepo babies are the ones that making these movies, and it's crap. And then they make these movies that don't make any sense. It's supposed to be art now, okay? It's supposed to be art, and it make no freaking sense. And it's poor writing, and then they pat themselves on the back because somebody's kissing their tail telling it it's a great movie or whatever, right? Then they hand out awards and all the goofy stuff. I mean, it's crap, man. But this is what I believe is happening, okay? I believe these entertainment companies kind of almost in the situation where they feel like they don't have a choice but to hire these people. Either they doing somebody a favor, or they pressured to do it, or these people that's hiring these people are just plain stupid. Okay, just plain stupid. You know, all they know about is trying to get that money, trying to get that bag. That's it, nothing else. And that's why all these movies are turning out so much crap, man. You know, but eventually this is unsustainable. Eventually they're gonna have to start hiring real writers, producers, and directors, and even actors too, because I throw them in there too as well. Because some of this stuff is just ridiculous, man, ridiculous.
His brother with the dad and grows up to be KRAVEN the Hunter, and he fights bad guys and fights for animal rights. Isn't this guy a villain in the comics? Yeah, but you know.
Oh yeah, thank you. I was just about to say that. Let's go back. Let's see what he got to say. I was just about to say that.
Rights. Isn't this guy a villain in the comics? Yeah, but you know, how am I supposed to make a movie where a villain is the hero? Why are we even making these? Yeah, I don't know.
See, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm talking about, man. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, look, you need to introduce these characters through Spider-Man, through a Spider-Man movie, okay? And then if they become popular, it's sort of like with Star Wars, right? Darth Vader became one of the most popular characters. I don't know if that was George Lucas's plan to make that happen, that he was trying to make Darth Vader popular, but it just happened. And then all of a sudden you could just throw Darth Vader in all kind of stuff because people would look forward to seeing him. And they should have done the same thing with KRAVEN, right? They should have put him in a movie against Spider-Man, and then maybe something traumatic happened in the end where he decided to do good or something like that, right? Even though I personally think that'd be a boring character, but that would have made more sense. Instead of just trying to make him a good guy and see if you can make money off of it. I'm telling you, man, these people at these pitch meetings, they are retarded. I know we aren't supposed to use that word, man, but they are crazy, man. They just don't know what they're doing. Okay? They just don't know. And it's terrible, man. It's terrible.
Oh, we'll stop soon. So anyway, every year KRAVEN goes to visit his brother in London for his birthday, but this year his brother gets kidnapped. A terrible birthday surprise! Yeah, it turns out this freaking bad guy grabbed him. And who's this bad guy? Well, he's the Rhino, and 16 years earlier, KRAVEN's dad was kind of mean to him, so he went to see a doctor who made him strong, and now he could turn into a Rhino man. I have no further questions. I have no further...
It's like, I wonder if this is how it really is. You know what I'm saying? I wonder if they come up with these ideas and they tell these people that have no clue. I mean, they probably suits, okay? Guys just trying to make money. So you got to sell this stuff to these people to try to get these movies made, greenlit. And these guys like, okay, I got no further questions. Okay, he's some guy, he mad at the world. All of a sudden he's gonna pump himself full of drugs and then become some kind of rock type creature or something, okay? I'm telling you, man, nobody cares. But they thinking that the fans care because we know who these characters are. But there's no real development, man. There's no real development. Even when comic books come up with new characters, they usually do it through the main characters. And then maybe if they popular enough, then the author or whoever created that character will continue on with that character. Because if you look at like documentaries with Stan Lee and all this kind of stuff, they'll come up with these characters not meaning for them to be really popular. It's just an idea that they throw out there. But then some of these characters become really popular at the time. Okay, so people get excited. Now it's like they just want to see them in their own comics or whatever, right? That's how it usually works, man. But instead, they trying to do these characters that most people don't know who they are. So they trying to make these characters popular just because. And the way he was reading out, well, he's strong. He can see things at a distance. He can smell. All kind of like that was it. That's all. I need to be one of those guys in the suits, right? When they asking me about trying to make a movie so I can improve it. If it's that easy to get a movie made, man, it's crazy.
For their answers. So then Kraven's dad refuses to pay the ransom, so Kraven decides to track down Calypso.
Why?
To frickin' help him track down and hunt the bad guys.
Isn't he the best tracker?
Yeah, and he says he's been trying to track down Calypso for years, and he finally found her.
How did he finally do it?
By being the best hunter and tracker in the world. No one can do it like this guy. So why does he need her help? To track down these bad guys. All right. So she explains how...
Oh, this is so stupid, man. Now I'm starting to understand why, man, this movie didn't do well. I mean, I wonder if Aaron actually read this script, man. Because they're supposed to read this script. You have to convince not only the suits to want to give the green light to make these movies, but you also have to convince like directors and art actors and stuff to be able to star in it, right? Because I remember what show was a movie or some movie or something, right? Where they had to sit around. I guess they did it in Zoom. I don't know how they did it, right? Where they had to talk about the movie. The person that was making the movie had to sell it basically to the actors. And when the actors wanted to do the movie because they loved the concept, so they did the movie. So they would probably went over the script or whatever the situation once they agreed. And I wonder if he read the freaking thing. Or did he be like thinking, okay, it's a superhero movie. I just want to be a part of this because I need a job. So I'm going to just go ahead and say yes, even though it's going to bomb, but I'm just going to go ahead and do it. Just like Madam Web. You know, I wonder if that was the case with the actors and that too as well. They just wanted to be in a superhero movie. And that was it. So they didn't care. You know, it's like these people think they are the smartest people, the elites. But they make the most stupidest decisions when you really find out behind the scenes on how they came up with these concepts, man. It sounds so stupid. And this guy just kind of making it obvious how stupid they are, okay? You know, these people are supposed to be like highly intelligent. They're supposed to be working in Hollywood. It's the same song and dance when it comes down to politicians, right? When I was young, I believe politicians are supposed to be highly intelligent. That's the only reason why they got these jobs, right? Coming to find out they're not. They're either nepo babies or they're doing favors for somebody or some crap like that. But they don't know what they're freaking doing. They can't even handle the budget. It's crazy. So, yeah, I just love this guy, man. If it's really like this, man, this is a joke. This is a big time joke.
She saved his life with the potion from her grandma back in the day.
Right.
And how her grandma died shortly after that trip and she never saw her again.
Both those things?
Yes, and eventually this other bad guy called the Foreigner is gonna join the party too, because he also wants Kraven dead.
Oh yeah, how come?
Bad guy reasons.
Oh my God.
So Kraven and Calypso go to this African
You notice he didn't even explain why. I'm starting to believe that's how his property is. These people that got the money or can approve something right, they probably have no clue. And then these Hollywood people come in and just, jerk their chain or whatever, become friends with them, buy them drinks, get them peas, if you know what I'm talking about, all kind of favors, right? And then go into these meetings convincing them, oh man, yeah, it's going to work. We really don't need to explain all this. We really don't. You're like, okay. I'm already going to approve you anyway. So go ahead. You know what I'm saying? Just keep with the story. This is probably more realistic than I want to believe, okay? Because I'm laughing right now because it's funny. And it like usually skits are just funny, right? But you don't really believe this stuff is happening, right? I'm starting to believe this stuff is really happening. I'm starting to believe that this is how this mess goes. They just talk about this stuff and these people just approve it, man. Who are these freaking people?
Sanctuary where Kraven lives, and out of nowhere, this big cat pounces on him and they fight.
Oh no, jungle cat!
But it turns out they're like friends, so it was kind of play fighting.
All right, good.
So then inside the sanctuary, Kraven tells Calypso that he's the best hunter in the world. No one can take him on.
A cat just snuck up on him.
Yeah, but other than that jungle cat just now, nobody can do it.
Oh, okay.
So then the foreigner shows up and uses his time-freezing hypnosis powers to inject Kraven with a deadly toxin.
Well, but then Calypso freaking shoots this guy in the eye with an arrow. Oh, is she an archer?
She mentioned that skill of hers in the very previous scene and then delivered on it immediately.
Hey, what's the minimum amount of time for something to count as foreshadowing?
Unclear. So then she uses another potion to revive Kraven and he's back in business.
Oh man, this guy really is unstoppable.
As long as nobody sneaks up on him or has powers and that there's some magic potion available.
Yeah, and so now...
Oh man, this is so crazy. This is so crazy. I was just thinking, right? I remember in school when they teach you English and all that kind of stuff, they try to teach you to write, whatever, right? And they teach you about concepts and all these other things, right? So you can be a proper writer. And this is high school now. I'm not even talking about college here, okay? I'm like, these people don't understand how to write or anything. How to bring a character to life, or what's the point of certain scenes or anything like that. They supposed to have been trained to do this. And if this movie is if he's making this movie as accurate as what am I trying to say? If he's accurate about how this movie really is, this is crazy, man. This is crazy. It's like these people probably didn't even go to class. Their mama and daddy probably paid for it, and they probably had to go to class. These nepo babies, and then all of a sudden they get out of school because they got this bachelor degree or whatever the crap they do for film school or whatever, right? And then they just get hired by their friends, like Kathleen Kennedy or something. You know what I'm saying? So then they come out with this crap. I mean, this is pathetic. This is really, really pathetic. It's sad. I can't believe that it's really like this. You know, you look at the Acolyte and all the other stuff that Star Wars coming out with, Kathleen Kennedy, people she's hiring, nepo babies most likely. Nepo babies. Friend of a friend or something like that, right? Oh yeah, I hired them. They don't really need no real skills to do this. This job is real easy because she probably was a nepo baby. I don't know that much about Kathleen Kennedy. She probably a nepo baby. She probably knew somebody that knew somebody's parents or something like that, right? That's the reason why she got the job. That's the reason why she was able to work with Steven Spielberg and George Lucas and stuff, because of some favor somebody was doing. And people used to joke that all she did really was just fetch coffee, okay? But that's probably how she got the job. And all this time, you know, she used this on her resume, and people believed it. I believed it. I thought she worked with Steven Spielberg. She knows what she's doing. You just automatically think that, but it's not the real deal. A lot of these rich kids get these freaking jobs, like judges and freaking politicians and movie producers or directors or whatever, and don't know what they're doing. Don't know what they freaking doing. That's why particular actors only act with particular directors, because there ain't that many out there. So they won't do a movie with just anybody. They'll do it with somebody they know that has a real track record. Okay, now it makes more sense. You know, I thought that, you know, these bad directors was far and in between. These bad writers far and in between. But it seems like there's more of them than anybody else. So probably that's the reason why these directors feel like there's no real competition out there. And they just pump out a bunch of crap. And you know what? This is the deal. And I want to make this clear. They blaming it on superhero movies. Because I'm sure a lot of these actors like Brad Pitt, George Clooney, I know I use them all the time, but they probably thinking these superhero movies are stupid, okay? And that's not worth making. I read comic books for years, and these comic books are amazing. The people that write these comic books know what they're doing. great stories if it's done well. Okay, they are good. That's good material. They are considered real books because they got pictures in them. That's not the point. The point is a good story. Pictures just enhances it. Okay, and these people don't take it seriously because they keep hiring these people that don't know what they're doing, don't know the source material to write and direct these things, and they just dropping the ball big time. So it's making it seem like we crazy because we like comic book movies, and that these comic book movies are just for kids. I mean, it's insane, man. Pure insane.
Now the Rhino's going to take matters into his own hand. Pause? Hooves. He's going to take matters into his own hooves. Is he going to look cool and badass as the Rhino? So then he and KRAVEN get in a big fight.
Hold on, man. I got to go back to that. Hold on a second. Hold on.
Hooves. Is he going to look cool and badass as the Rhino? So then he and KRAVEN get in a big fight. Oh, wow.
And I felt the same way when I saw the trailer. And that was part of the reason why I knew it was going to be garbage. That's how I knew it was going to be garbage. You know what I'm saying? That right there tells me all. When you got great special effects, then you like really excited to go see something. I remember when I first saw Star Wars, man. At the time, that was considered great special effects. And it still looks good even now. I mean, of course, you're going to see some, not so good scenes, but it still look good. But when I saw that Rhinos, I was like, what is the problem? Why can't they get that right? It's sort of like whenever they do like Doomsday, like on Smallville or Superman or Lois, when they did Doomsday, it looks so crappy. But it's expected from a TV show because they don't got that kind of budget. But from a movie, come on, man. Look, if they can make Caesar the monkey look good, you can do freaking the Rhino, right? But they keep getting it wrong. And it keeps looking like garbage. And then later they make a movie joking it. I mean, it's terrible, man. I mean, it's sad too, man. And because they're going to ruin it for the people that love comic book movies. Like I said, it's a lot of women right now. They used to want to dress up as these characters. Now it's like they're not really excited about that anymore. Because they know that the men are kind of losing interest in a lot of the stuff. Like Star Wars. I think a lot of people stopped dressing up as Star Wars characters because they ain't got no Star Wars characters that's interesting. So they just ruining it for everybody. Because they want to fill their pockets and do favors for their friends, man. It's sad. It's really freaking sad.
Wow. Wow. And KRAVEN's trying to freaking stab this guy, but his Rhino skin is impenetrable.
So what does he do?
He penetrates his Rhino skin and stabs him. Oh, good. And then he makes a hurt.
Is it really this pathetic? Leave it in the comment section if you've seen the movie. Is it really this bad? Is it really this bad? Do they really think that people would notice this? Look, if one thing I noticed about comic book people, and I'm included in this, okay, because I love comic books. I still like it too, man. We are fascinated with movies. Very fascinated. We love great stories because you grew up with great stories when you read comic books. They don't rush through it. They make sure you understand what's going on. The pace is great, all that stuff, right? You just love it. And for some reason, they don't think we'd be interested in movies and what goes on behind the scenes. Like with directing or writing or a story or whatever, right? For some reason, they just think we just stupid people that just like comic books. Pow, 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 bam, bam, bam. Just like the old Batman, right? The old Batman show. I love that show, by the way. I'm not trying to trash it now. But for some reason, they just don't think that they need to follow up with logic. For some reason, right? Or just a comic book movie. Now, that might have been an excuse when they first started. But at this point now, man, you got to write a good story. But for some reason, they just going right back to that crap. Like we don't supposed to notice that kind of thing all of a sudden. Like, look, I understand that this is fantasy. I get it, man, right? But I always tell you in all these videos when I talk about this kind of stuff, right? I need it to be based off some type of reality here, okay? It got to make sense to me, at the least, okay? And I think most comic book fans agree with that. That's why they're so animate about Star Wars. Because I remember a lot of the times when these people used to do Star Wars back in the day, And because they used to like put these pictures out of the X-Wing fighters and the TIE fighters and all that kind of stuff, and they will like give numbers to it, right? And it might be one of those things where you can put TIE fighter, like you can put these ships together or whatever, and they come with their own model number or whatever the situation is, right? Or the model of the ship, right? And then whenever they go to these like what do you call them things? Comic-Con or whatever, right? Whenever they go there, they might ask these specific questions, thinking that either the director or maybe the actors might know what they're talking about. A lot of times they don't know what they're talking about, of course, right? But they need people to be accurate about this stuff because they love it so much. And then you know people love this. They love Spider-Man or love the Spider-Man universe. And then you can just it don't make any sense. It really don't make any sense. I mean, he's supposed to be hard to kill. The Rhino, yeah. I mean, if you cannot penetrate his skin, you had to find some different way to stop him. It's sort of like when Batman fought the Hawk. I saw this comic book a long time ago. He couldn't penetrate the Hawk's skin, right? So he used gas to knock him out, at least the first time, right? But the Hawk got smart the second time. But that makes sense to me. And I was like a teenager when I read this. But some reason they know grown people watching this stuff, right? They still think it's stupid. Man, I tell you.
Of buffalo trample him, and that hurts despite the super strong skin.
Yes, he dies.
Yay. And then Kraven realizes his own dad is the one who sent the Rhino after him, so he gets a bear to kill him. This guy's letting all kinds of animals do his dirty work. He sure is, sir. And then sometime later, he finds out that his brother has gone to that same Rhino doctor who turned him into a chameleon man.
Oh.
Yeah, drop a little sequel bait, maybe for a sequel.
This isn't getting a sequel.
Okay, well, I'm not removing that. My delete key's broken.
Well, okay then. And turn.
Now that made sense. This ain't gonna be no. They thought they gonna get quick money off this thing, man, and not do a real sequel. There's some movie they can make a little bit of money off of Kraven the Hunter's name, and then throw him in a Spider-Man movie or something, right? And just get you familiar with it. But they were gonna make some money at the same time, right? Because they greedy. And I at first I thought I was happy with Disney not being able to purchase Spider-Man and their characters again. And I'm on the fence about this, man, because it seems like both sides are screwing up everything. You know, they the wrong people, man. They should give this stuff to Netflix, because Netflix will probably do a lot better. That's why I love Daredevil so much, and I'm so afraid of what they might do with Daredevil Reborn. But it looks good so far, so I'm not complaining. But the people that made Daredevil on Netflix made it make sense. They went out of their way to make it make sense, just like Batman Begins. Chris Nolan, man, he went out of his way to make things logical, to make things make sense, because he's a real director who wanted to do a real movie. It just happened to be a comic book movie. They still took it seriously. But whoever is making these movies, man, not taking it seriously. They're not. They're not real artists. I don't care what movie you make. You got to approach it as though it makes sense and that it's good, that the stories are written right, that the angles are great, and people's expressions and how to direct human beings or how to be human beings, right? You got to know what you're freaking doing, man. But it seemed like Kathleen Kennedy just giving anybody a director's chair to do these movies. She never really tested them out with nothing. Because the woman that directed Miss Marvel or whatever, I never heard of this director before, ever. I think she might have done one movie or something. But other than that, after that, you don't give her something like a big budget movie like that? Woman didn't know what she was doing. And at the end, she realized she didn't know what she was doing, because I don't think she's going to do another one. It's the people that's making these decisions. This is what it is. They greedy, they don't care, and they just want to do anything. And at the same time, I feel like they want to piss people off too, like us.
Turns out Kraven's father has left him behind that iconic fur vest that he wears, so now he looks real cool. He puts that on.
I thought he hated his father.
Yeah, but it looks very cool, so he's gonna wear it now.
I guess that makes sense.
And so that's about it. What do you think?
Well, to be honest, as long as it's better received than Morbius and Madam Web, I'm happy.
That shouldn't be too hard to do.
No, it should not be.
Oh no, man, this is terrible. Oh my goodness, Craven the Hunter debuts with a Rotten Tomatoes score tied for worst of the Sony Spider-Man universe movies. It's like they went from bad to worse, man. It's pathetic. It's so pathetic. And I was so scared when they was coming out with X-Men 97, man. I was like, just another thing they're gonna just ruin. And I was so surprised they didn't. I was so surprised. But then you found out behind the scenes, a lot of the people knew about the comics. They read it. They knew about the characters. They loved the characters, everything. And that's why they did such a great job doing it. But these people that's directing this stuff and writing this stuff, they probably don't give a rat's ass about it. They just want their name on a comic book movie. So when they do another movie, they're going to put on the screen, oh, she was the one that directed Kraven the Hunter or Madam Web or something like that, right? But these movies are trash, so it's not going to really do them any good. But I'm just saying the reason why they accepted it, thinking that they can use it to say, oh, they directed these movies. Now it's going to be a great movie because they were successful in that area. So most likely they're going to make a great movie with this kind of a thing. So you need to go see it. It's terrible, man. But I mean, they did the same thing with James Gunn. But James Gunn got a track record of doing good movies, though. See, that's the difference. But they always bring up the fact that he did Guardians of the Galaxy when this movie Superman's coming out on the trailer, right? So that's what they want. They want that same thing saying, oh, this director did this movie, this superhero movie, so that way they can just worm their way into other movies and stuff, right? That's the reason why they did it. I did a big time movie, man. So if I can handle that, I can handle anything else. And then they just ruin it. But guess what? They still get hired in other movies, though. So obviously it must work, right? Even though it bombed just like this. This is terrible, man. This is so terrible. It is sad. It is sad. It's sad. I think I'm going to make this my thumbnail, I think. Who knows? But either case, man, it's oh, it's just a freaking shame, man. But this is so funny.
Hi, this is Ryan George from The Thing You Just Watched. Please enjoy this slideshow from The Thing You Just Watched.
Oh my God, that looked terrible. All right, man. I just love this guy, man. I think he is so funny. I wonder if he's like a comedian or something, right? I'm sure I'm going to find out about him. But he's so good and know what he's talking about. These people that do these skits and joke about this stuff and, like Nerdrotic and everybody else, they love movies. They understand how movies should be made. Because when you love something enough, you try to find out as much as possible about it. I'm the same way. I love movies so much. I was so fascinated by how they do it. Because I told you I'm a photographer. So I want to do more than just pictures. I want to also do videos and things of that sort. And I had my chances on doing a few things, but not as much as I want to do, okay? So I always try to learn something. If there's new techniques or something that I can learn, or maybe some type of equipment I can buy to improve my photos or videos or whatever, I always look up for that kind of stuff, right? Because I love the medium so much. I love the medium so much that I'm so willing to learn and go through the trouble of learning it, okay? But I don't think that these people just getting these jobs in Hollywood, I don't think they care. They just want to go to these parties and just be popular and people praising them and things of that sort, even though most of them are nepo babies. Because I used to think that these people was getting their job legitimately, man. But come to find out they're a daughter or son of some famous actor who probably did put in the work, okay? So now that the kids are doing in there, just doing these mediocre jobs, it's a shame, bro. But I love this kind of stuff. I'm glad guys like this guy exist. Because they pretty much let you know, because it's not just entertainment. It's not just because it's funny that I watch this. And it is. It just pretty much shows you how ridiculous these stories are. Because this guy had to at least have an idea of how this stuff is done in Hollywood in order to make these videos. It's not just he just being funny. He probably have some real ideas about it. Like I said, I don't know if he worked for Hollywood at some point, or if he was an actor or comedian or whatever the situation is. But this guy seemed to have some type of knowledge when it comes down to making these movies. That's why he's able to talk and joke about this kind of stuff. And I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that big time, right? Because it makes me learn something too at the same time that I'm laughing, okay? It's a shame, man. It is a shame. All this time they making it seem like you got to go to all these colleges and do all this work in order just to be in Hollywood. You got to sleep in your car. You got to do all this other crap, put up with so much stuff, go on all these auditions and everything else just to get a job. When people like Kathleen Kennedy and all these other people are just hiring their buddies. Them trying to make it's like the popular club or something, right? You can't get in unless you know somebody. That's how it is, man. And I mean, I guess this is most places, a lot of businesses or whatever, right? These kids get these college degrees, they go behind, you know, because of that situation, right, with these two actresses where they were paying this guy to get these kids into these colleges, even though these kids didn't qualify. What's it, Felicity or something, whatever her name is, right? I forgot. But y'all know who I'm talking about, right? She got in trouble, ended up going to jail for it. But that's how it was normally done, and that's basically what they said. This is how it was normally done. These kids are idiots, yet they going to Harvard. I think at one time I saw somebody was talking about Harvard one time, about their medical schools, that I would never have somebody from Harvard work on my body. Because it's like most of them get in because because they got rich parents or something. It's freaking sad, man. It's pathetic. And now they're running our government this way. And that's why I appreciate Trump so much, right? Whether you like this guy or not, he actually literally looking for professional people that have experience to run the government. And that's why I think so many people are positive about this go around. Because so many people that's in Hollywood, that's in politics, that don't know what the freak they doing. But you know, but they want people to think they know what they doing though, because they becoming rich. Okay, and that's it. You know, my opinion, Kathleen Kennedy don't know what the freak she's doing, and she doesn't. But she rich though, so I'm supposed to think she does. But this was funny. I hope you enjoyed it, man. And hopefully you didn't you seen the movie already or not interested in seeing the movie before you watch this, because there was a lot of spoilers in it. But I don't care. I really don't care. And now after I've seen this, I really don't care. I might not even watch it, man, because I hate being such a disappointment. I do. But hopefully you got some thrill out of this. I really would appreciate it. Excuse me, sorry. Hopefully you enjoyed this. But thanks for coming by. This is T and peace.